Hello, this is Ariana Antonio for MDF2 1402, and this is my week 4 project review. So this week we went ahead and created an application that started off, it had two tab bars, or a tab bar with two controllers on it. And one of them needed to go to a page that had a table view with at least 10 items of information on it that had been pulled from an XML source, and then click to those to go to a detail view for more information about that item. And then the second tab was merely a text view that had the raw XML data that we pulled down. So in theory, fairly simple, just didn't exactly turn out that way. In terms of my code, pretty much as expected, I ended up creating a singleton because I thought I would need it to pass the data between the controllers, but I didn't really need that necessarily. So there's a little bit more work here than was needed, but you know, there's nothing wrong with practicing more stuff with singletons, I guess. Otherwise, it's there's a lot of commented out code for this week, since I kept having a lot of things not working the way I expected them to. So I tried a whole bunch of different things before finally finding something that worked to a degree. So there's a lot of commented out stuff because I kept changing things and trying different things and going back and trying something I tried before, so I never wanted to delete anything in case I had a new idea about what I could do better. So I have, my main information code that's pulling the data from the API, saving it. Here we're parsing my data, going through if statements to grab the element name and then the value for the attribute. And then here, we're loading the data as well as getting the files from where we saved it. All pretty standard stuff. I have a lot of NS logs in here as well, since I was having a lot of issues this week, and some breakpoints that ended up kind of rescuing me after a while. So anyway, so it's all pretty standard. I will go ahead and go through my project really quick so that you can see what I did. It's not at all anything remotely impressive, but it's finished and doing what it's supposed to do. So I'm happy as can be, I guess, given the situation. So there's a blurry load image. I didn't really have time to find a better image that wouldn't be blurry, so sorry, but anyway, so I grabbed the Yahoo Weather API. I was hoping they would have, that I could have cities, but I would have had to download 10 files, one for each city. Unfortunately, they didn't have an XML that just had weather for a whole bunch of cities that you could pick from. So this is all Los Angeles. And again, the way that the file was structured, there was only so many things that I could grab with the element name and attribute. A lot of the values were between tags. And only kind of figuring out how to grab those values between tags at the last minute and not wanting to have to kind of redo my project shortly before it was due. So I kind of Mickey Moused it, so it's not as good as it could be, but again, it's done. I've got 11 items in here. As of a couple hours ago, I only had 7 and was freaking out. So just to show, you can go to location, and the value for that location is Los Angeles, being pulled from the file. The wind right now is at 61, humidity at 81. We're going to have some pretty rainy days ahead of us, so if you look forward to Friday, we've got rain, thunder, and wind, and just straight up rain on Saturday. So there's all that good information that it's pulling from the file. And then if you go to the other tab, we just have the raw XML data. So you can see the location, Los Angeles, the wind, 61, all that stuff. So that's it. That's the app. It's pretty simple. It just took way longer than I felt it should. And in terms of what I could have done better this week, I think a lot. Obviously, this is a horrible format for any actual type of useful weather app. I would have said location and, had the detail of Los Angeles and the wind. I would have had them all in the right detail view, but we needed to click over and pass the information to another view. So in order to meet the parameters of the project, it didn't actually, the app itself wasn't quite as useful. Again, ideally, if I could have gotten a city list of cities and then you go to that city and it's got all this information for the city. That's what I wanted to do, but that'll be practice for another time. And also, I really could have worked better with the parser. I didn't really understand enough about the other functions that are available with the parser to use them again this late in the game, but I do want to learn how to use those so that some of the XML files, since most of them were formatted with the information between tags, so I'd like to know how to do that for future reference as well. So that's something I want to work on doing better in the future. But again, it's done. As far as I know, all the parameters for the project were met. It's just not as good as I would like it to be. But so that's that. Thanks so much. Bye.